January 6th, 1990. Outskirts of Flatwater, California. Dear Aaron and Penn, well, here I am in Flatwater. We're on the outskirts of it anyway. This is where the Greyhound bus lets you off. I'm in front of a convenience store called the Park and Barf. A sign in the window says, puke burritos. I may be making part of this up. I miss you both already. I'm waiting for my brother-in-law to come fetch me. I don't miss him already. I haven't seen him or my sister for 30 years. I never thought I would again. All the time I was marching for peace, he was bombing in Vietnam. Those were horrible days. I miss them already. I wish I could have found a job in Los Angeles and stayed with y'all. I hope Penn sells a script to the movies. I hope Aaron gets a break making karaokes. I do hope y'all get a house with a room in it for me. I hope my brother-in-law comes soon. Lord, I hope he never comes. I don't know what I'm getting into here. I haven't been alone among heterosexuals since before y'all were born. Oh, here comes a car. It must be Bill. Who else would be out in the wilderness at this time of night? We'll write soon. Bud.
Give me all your money or I'll shoot you.
New York already killed me, Bill.
That's good. Well, come on. Welcome to Flatwater.
Oh.
Here, come on, get in the car.
You get those? Thank you.
Shit. Is this your luggage or is it garbage?
That's funny.
We sure have missed you, buddy boy. Your sister's waiting at the house.
Well, hang on. I'm not quite sure how to work this.
Shit. Don't you people from New York know how to work no seatbelt?
Just show me how.
Get fastened.
I'm trying.
There.
If you'll just show
I'll do it for you.
Well, I just learned in L.A. that they're different in every model of car.
I don't drive with nobody don't wear no seatbelt. Shit. If we had an accident, you could sue me for $1 million.
I would never sue somebody out of my own carelessness.
Shit, you don't ever know. Everybody's out to get you. Your sister been thinking of nothing but you for the whole week.
I'm very grateful to you all for letting me come out like this.
We hope you're going to stay for a good long visit.
Well, I
lost your candy shop, did you?
It was a candle shop.
I never thought you'd had a head for business.
I ran it for 20 years.
I always thought you was more the artistic type.
They suddenly tripled my rent.
Everybody's out to get you. What do you think of this car?
It's pink.
Damn right. Your sister won it by being the best Mary Kay cosmetic representative in 6 counties.
Oh, you must be very proud of her.
I should have never done it if I didn't drive her all the time. She'd give everything away if I let her.
Are we in Flatwater yet?
Shit, no. Didn't you read the signs?
Well, it's dark.
You ain't gonna see no tall buildings here like you got in New York.
It is strange.
Did you hear that? New York? That's what Bash Rambo calls it.
Bash Rambo.
The best man on the radio. Shit. Ain't you people from New York never heard of Bash Rambo?
No, I don't believe I've ever heard of Bash Rambo.
He tells it like it is. You see that?
Good Lord, what is that?
That's the water tower. Senior class painted that world globe on it for educational purposes.
It's bizarre.
I think it's the most beautifulest thing I ever saw. Now that's art a fellow like me can understand.
It's unique.
A bunch of them rowdies climbed up and painted the F word all over it. The light hits it wrong, you can still make that word out. Shit, I hate dirty talk.
Are we there yet?
We're almost there. This here's our section. It's called Hillcrest.
Where's the hill? Where's the crest?
Shit, I don't know. Some WAP developer called it that to fool the suckers. Well, here we are. There she is. She lives in that damned house coat. She ain't so pretty anymore, is she?
I think she's beautiful.
Shit, she ain't no better than an old dog. Here, let me get that for you.
If you'll just... Thank you.
That's all right. I know you did. Artistic touch.
Sis?
Oh!
Chad, get in the house before you scare the neighbors. She shouldn't come out without her face paint on. She'll scare the dogs.
Oh, Bud, I missed you so
Well, I
much.
missed you. I didn't realize how much. Oh, here, Bill, let me carry those.
Shit, I can carry them.
No, Bill, here, let me have the cardboard box, please.
Oh, shit, don't go unpacking and dirtying up the family room.
Bill, I have presents for y'all.
Oh, shit. Here, then.
I can hardly get it open. I saved you all the best candles from my candles shop.
Oh, it is so pretty.
Shit, I hope there ain't no New York cockroaches in there. I ought to fumigate that box before you open it all up.
Oh, that's so pretty, Bud.
I saved you all the prettiest ones I could.
You should have insured them. Then if that Greyhound had have broke them, you could have sued them big. Ah!
These were the last of them.
Well, y'all don't want to talk to me. I'll put these in your room.
Thank you.
Oh, well.
Welcome home, buddy boy.
Listen, I'll save all those for Christmas and birthday presents. You be sure and remind me, though, if I happen to forget and give you one here.
I will. I will. Gosh, there's so much I want to talk to you about.
Oh? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I don't know. You, y'all, myself. Well, gosh, what have you been doing for the last 30 years?
Lord, I don't know. Raising a family and starting a business.
I saw your pink car. Congratulations.
Mhm. That's my third one. I sell Mary Kay.
You must be very proud.
Oh, listen, they give them for the most sales. And I like selling Mary Kay. It helps women feel more proud of themselves.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, I don't know where to begin telling you about my last 30 years. It all seems so unreal here in this house.
Oh, well, we got it on a home loan for veterans. You can watch TV if you want.
Oh, good Lord, no. Tell me about your family. Where are they?
Oh, well, Sonny lives right near, and he finally kicked drugs. And then Missy lives back east, and she got remarried. Again. Oh, jeez. You can microwave something if you want to.
I'd rather talk to you.
Well, all right, then. What do you want to talk about?
What are you reading?
Oh, true crime books. They're condensed so that you get 4 each month, and that way I can read 4 in the time that it would take me to read 1.
Oh, fascinating. And what's this one about that you're reading now?
Oh, some woman killed her husband. Most of them are.
Well, I brought some of my favorite books. I'll read some of yours, you can read some of mine, and then we'll talk about them.
All right, well, I won't be upset if they're gay books. I realized a long time ago that you must be gay, but how could I throw the first stone? I mean, after all, some of the things that Bill and I did even before we were married.
Well, that is a relief to know.
You know, we used to have some gay boys right here in Flatwater. I used to do their Halloween makeup for their Halloween drag ball.
Fun!
Oh, jeez. I introduced them to you, but they all moved to San Francisco and died.
I put all your clothes in the washer, and I sprayed all them candles with bug spray. What was that I heard on while I was out? One of them talk shows with two of them intellectual guys, each trying to prove that they're smarter than each other?
No, Sis and I were just talking.
Ah, shit, she can't hear nothing you say. She just sits there reading them ass-white books when she ought to be resting so she can go out and make more money tomorrow. Yeah, you can just sit there. We used to have two Barco loungers, but she quit watching TV, so I just jumped hers. If she didn't want to sit beside me and watch TV, but read them shit-ass books instead.
Jeez, I haven't been near a television for years.
Oh, shit, here, looky. This is the good one. You see that little nigger kid? He's a smart ass. He gets them all. Shit, don't nobody never put nothing over on him. Shit.
Dear Penn and Aaron, and so a sort of way of life has emerged. Sis sits there reading condensed plans for murdering husbands. And Bill watches sitcom after sitcom, where for half an hour at a time, don't nobody never put nothing over on him. And I, after 30 years among the bravest, finest people in the world, marching for peace and lighting little candles wherever I could, I sit and I watch them. I suppose you guys, being younger than me and having been raised in such towns, could have told me. I didn't know. I really didn't. Sis and I grew up in towns like Flatwater. I haven't been in one in 3 decades. I didn't know. I really didn't know what had become of America. All these years they were watching people like me on TV. I had no idea how we had been made to look to them.
Shit, looky. Look at them protester turds. What are they on about now?
Oh, they're fighting for the preservation of the rainforests.
Shit, them's the same people that protest everything. Them's the ones that thinks more of white owls than they do of lumberjacks' jobs.
Bill, the rainforests are being decimated at the rate of an acre per second. Whole species are being destroyed.
Shit, who gives a shit?
Forests make the very air you breathe.
Shit, you think they care? They get paid to march is all.
Paid? By whom?
Shit, the communists.
Which communists?
Shit, Bash Rambo done told the whole story. You gotta listen to him. Them's the same protesters go from town to town every time there's one of them shit marches. They all get paid big money by the international communists.
Somebody said this on the radio.
Oh, shit, yes, he ain't afraid of nothing. Listen to this.
All right. And there suddenly began to pour into my defenseless ears the orotund voice of Bash Rambo. He said indeed that all protesters were paid agents of an international communist conspiracy. He said that they were all ugly lesbians who couldn't get a man. He said ecologists were paid to destroy the American lumber industry. He said vegetarians were paid to destroy the American beef industry. He said animal rights people were paid to destroy the American fur industry. He said that there are untold millions of these evil paid agents, paid fortunes to lay America to waste. He said they were a menace that threatens the very fabric of capitalistic Christian democracy. Then he took a sip of water and said that there were really only a few of them, and that they were all ineffectual wimps and misfits, and that nobody really needed to worry about them at all. In 60 seconds, he scared his listeners to death and then made them feel that everything is really all right. He said there was nothing to be afraid of and that we had better elect the strongest, meanest leaders we could to protect us from it. I hadn't been subjected to such adroit monbonkery since the first time I ran into a 3-card Monte dealer on Times Square. And this man is on the airwaves all the time?
Shit, yes. 3 hours a day. Got more listeners than even Bob Hope used to have. Most popular radio personality of all time.
And he complains that the protesters are being paid.
Oh, shit, yes, they are.
He must get paid a fortune himself.
Yeah, he's a multimillionaire already.
So he too is a paid protester.
Right.
Doesn't that strike you as a bit ironic, paradoxical, hypocritical, something?
Well, somebody has to contradict all that commie propaganda.
And on which station can I hear the communist propaganda?
Oh, shit, there ain't no commie shows on.
So what propaganda is he contradicting?
Shit, there ain't none. Wouldn't nobody listen to that?
He's able to do that. F. Scott Fitzgerald said that the true test of a first-class mind is the ability to hold two contradictory ideas and still function. By that test, Bill is a first-class mind. Bill, if there are no communists, where does the untold millions come from to pay the protesters?
Why, shit, from the Russian government, of course.
But Bill, the Russian government is no longer
Oh,
communist,
shit, no, we licked them in the arms race.
so they don't have any money.
Shit, no, they're bankrupt.
So where does all this bribe money come from?
They tax us middle-class people to death, that's where.
Who does?
Our government.
Our government is communist?
Shit, yes.
Bush's government?
Shit, no.
Reagan's government?
Oh, shit, no.
Well, Bill, if nobody's communist, where's all this money coming from?
Why, shit, bud, from the Japanese industrialists.
Japanese industrialists pay American communist protesters.
Sure, they're out to destroy American industry.
But I thought you said the money came from the American middle class taxes.
The Japanese industrialists pay communists and our government millions to support them communists.
Jap capitalists pay millions to red feds to pay tax millions to American communist protesters to march.
No, shit, not just to march, but to pay our millions to them nigger welfare mothers.
Bill, I am so confused.
Damn right, that's what they do.
Who
They
does?
confuse you, all of them. Everybody's out to get you.
Bill, the tax money that go to the African American welfare mothers is less than 1% of the welfare budget. It's nothing in comparison to, say, the military budget.
No. Welfare is the biggest item in the budget.
Yes, if you include Social Security, which is in fact a self-supporting system requiring no tax expenditures.
But, Bud, they take the money from Social Security and spend it on other things. So Social Security has to come out of taxes.
Yes, and goes to the military.
Damn right.
Bill, think of this. You have spent your whole life in the military for 20-something years, yes? You get eternal medical coverage from the government. You live on a pension even now. Your whole life, Bill, has been lived in a socialistic economic loop.
Right. And I deserved every damn penny of it. Because I was out fighting wars against communism.
And now you're fighting against the Japanese capitalists.
Shit, yes, they're a menace.
Bill, I don't understand. How do you do that?
I watched Barbara Walters
Yes, and she said just the other night that the Japanese companies are owned in large part by the American companies we call their competitors.
Damn right. All them capitalists is communists.
And then he stormed out of the house to mow his already perfect lawn. At 2 in the morning. I didn't know. I really didn't. Sis sits through these increasingly frequent discussions with the aplomb of a religious statue, turning her pages and smoking her parliaments. That's an image for our times, isn't it? Smoking parliaments. She sits in the kitchen because it's the only place in the house Bill will let us smoke in. I said to him once, "But Bill, the real menace to the American lungs is the internal combustion engine. We should long ago have switched to electric cars."
You ain't never gonna get me to drive no electric car. What if they was an emergency? And I had to rush some member of my family to a hospital.
But Bill, the majority of major medical expenses comes from automobile accidents caused by speeding. Maybe Sis has the right idea. Hi, Sis.
I guess you want to talk.
Or smoke.
Oh, shit. You two still smoking?
Shut up, Bill. Shut up, Bill. It's my house and I can smoke if I want.
Yeah, but two of you smoking?
Well, go mow your lawn.
You're gonna die first, and I'm gonna be left all alone.
Well, then, you take up smoking and we'll both die together.
Shit!
It's the only thing she ever stands up for herself about.
Oh, dear. He's so snotty ever since he gave up smoking, just because he got cancer.
Bill got lung cancer?
Oh, he got these skin cancers from too much sun exposure mowing that poor helpless lawn of his. Oh, I don't know. He's all right. They're all alike. So, how are you doing, little buddy?
I don't know. I seem to put my foot in my mouth wherever Bill's concerned.
Oh, well, don't pay any attention to him. He just talks a lot of nonsense.
But was he always like this? I don't remember him being like this.
I don't know. I raised 2 kids, and when I looked up, he was a grouchy old man.
Well, he did go through 2 wars.
Yeah, I guess. He likes to think that he knows everything. I don't even talk to him.
Tell me about your business.
Oh, well, it's going really good. Bad times, good times. Women want to look good. Mary Kay is a great woman. She makes women feel independent, you know? It's good. But, you know, Bill can't stand it that I have my own money now.
But he keeps urging you to make more.
It's just because I'm his wife. He wants his wife to be the best. Well, that's why he's always working, though.
I don't know if I quite get that.
Well, he has to keep proving that he works more than me. But, you know. Oh, that poor lawn. Oh, gee. Oh, look. What are they doing?
Somebody's burning an American flag.
But why would they want to do that?
I believe it's in protest against that judge in Texas who let the kid off scot-free after shooting the 2 gay guys.
But that's our flag.
Well, he thinks it's been dishonored.
I mean, why does he want to do that? Burn the flag? That's awful.
Well, it is a very high way to show disapproval.
But that's our flag.
Well, he thinks it's the ideals that it represents have been violated.
That's awful. I mean, that flag used to stand for everything that was beautiful. And now all those beautiful things have just disappeared. Now everything's just awful. Everybody's turned against everybody. The streets are filthy. The cities aren't safe. People are homeless. Kids are on dope. And nobody can stay married. I mean, kids take guns to school. All we have left are the symbols, and he's destroying them.
Yes, that's wonderful. You agree with him. That's exactly what he's saying. All the hope and success and opportunity that flag once stood for are gone. All we're left with is just the empty symbol. That's what he's saying. He's saying, this means nothing. This is meaningless. This is what you've done to my flag.
But he's doing it!
Yes, you agree with him, your brother and sister in thought.
No! I would never do that. People like that leave us with nothing. Nothing! All we have left are the symbols, and he's destroying them.
Dear boys, I'm writing you from a concrete embankment by the irrigation canal. I spend a good deal of my time here, taking walks along the canal. I usually take a book with me. There are always a few joggers, either old men from the Air Force retirement community or vigorous young women in the Air Force now. They don't stop to talk much. They're always busy. Everyone here is busy all the time. They don't seem to relate much. There have been no guests at Sis's and Bill's in the months I've been here. I thought at first they were ashamed of me. But then I realized there are almost never any guests' cars in front of any of the houses in Hillcrest. I asked Bill about it once.
Shit, I don't want a lot of people in and out of here messing up my rugs.
How, after all, could they have any friends? Everybody's out to get you. I am glad to hear that Penn's movie script is about to be bought. I hope the studio likes the changes they told him to make. I do hope you get your home soon. I hope it does have a room in it for me. If not, I'll sleep on the porch. I ain't too proud, buddy boys. Oh, believe me, a man who makes his sister cry is not proud. Well, I'd better leave this letter for the mail person. Oh, I don't believe I ever told you. The flag on the mailbox that you leave up to tell the mail person that there's a letter for him or her to pick up. On Bill's mailbox, it's an American flag.
Good morning, buddy boy. You still writing them letters?
Yes, I thought I'd just leave that here for the mailman.
Shit. Don't leave no mail in the box. They see that flag up, they'll come over here and steal your mail, just for any checks that might be in it.
Oh, have you had mail stolen?
Oh, shit, no. I wouldn't leave nothing out to get stolen.
Oh, well, I'll just wait here for the mailman.
Well, you take your mail in, but you leave the rest out here.
Oh, all right.
The other day you brung the mail in, she got 3 of them begging letters from them Christian organizations, and she sent them all checks.
See?
I get the mail, I go through, toss out everything but her business mail. That way she ain't sending no money to them shit-eating church things.
I see.
She gives you any mail to mail, you bring it to me. She sends out them checks, I tear them up and throw them away.
I see.
Shit. Not all of them. Some I let through, but some of them's for them relief organizations for them Cambodian and Vietnam refugees moving in here. Now, I didn't spend my life bombing them, so she could be sending our money out to support them to take over here.
See?
You smell that?
What?
That shitty smell.
Curry?
That's a bunch of them moved right in here to Hillcrest. They stink up the whole neighborhood.
I believe they're Pakistani.
Stinks like shit. You going walking?
I thought I would, yes.
Well, don't bring back none of them flowers like you did for her birthday here. I throwed them out as soon as she forgot they was here. You can't ever tell. There might be some that people is allergic to, and they come in here and get sick, they'll sue us. For millions.
Everybody's out to get you.
Hey, you're learning, buddy boy.
Dear boys, Bill says I'm learning. He may be right.
Watch your step on that canal.
Huh?
They was talking about you down at the lawnmower store. They say there's this old guy walks along the canal reading a book while he's walking. You fall in that canal, ain't nobody gonna jump in there to save you. They'll just stand there and watch you drown, pretend like they never saw. Of course, they pull you out, and you die anyway. We could sue them.
I think I may be about to go crazy. Bill manages to fill every second of life around him with fear. You'll fall in the canal. Gangs of thugs will jump out of the bushes and kill you. Oh, don't stroll past the schoolyard. They'll arrest you for a child molester. You get too friendly with them women run the magazine store and they'll sue you for sexual harassment. Oh, you stand out on the lawn looking at the stars. Someone will come over here.
Report you for a burglar.
Better stay
inside.
But don't
Stand too close to the microwave. It'll give you cancer. Don't fry your eggs over easy. You'll get the salmonella. And don't take too hot a bath. The steam sets off the smoke alarm. Don't leave your crossword books laying out. They distract your sister and she don't work enough.
Yes.
And don't try to use the VCR. You don't know how to work it. And I've lost the instruction manual and I'm too busy to teach you.
Yes, Bill.
And don't get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. I might mistake you for a burglar and shoot you. I keep a .22 beside the bed. Come back from your walk when you smell barbecue. I'm barbecuing, and you can smell it clean out to the canal. Old Bash says, there ain't no truth to the rumor that barbecues pollutes the air. I think I'm going to call in and ask him about curry.
Dear boys, I've been everywhere in town to ask if there are any jobs. There aren't. The fast food places only hire kids, and the hospital where they advertise for typists has a quota system. They have about 100 black, Hispanic, and Asian women to hire before they have another opening for one of us oppressive white males. So I spend most of my time in the backyard at a card table reading. When I get in the way of Bill's yard work, I beg some change off of Sis and go read in the Cambodian donut shop. The owner there respects elderly scholars and lets me stay all day for just one cup of coffee. There's a woman I used to chat with there a little, a real estate dealer who lamented that she makes her living now only by handling foreclosures. I won't be seeing her anymore. Her father was badly injured when his tractor mower fell through the earth into a tunnel the woman's demented son had secretly dug under their property. He dug it so he could hide from his imagined demons. She had to move to Fresno, where there's a hospital for her father and another for her son. And there was a nice woman at the end of Sis and Bud's block who had discovered that her Air Force officer husband had molested all of their children and grandchildren for 30 years. When she went to his commanding officer to tell the story, they sent her to the base doctors and got her hopelessly hooked on tranquilizers. Well, then, of course, she couldn't afford those if her husband was discharged. She liked to hear funny stories from my carefree hippie days. I dropped by there yesterday, and her youngest daughter, just barely peeking around the door, told me, "Mama killed herself last night." I'm very sorry that the studio wanted Penn to change his script that awful way. Of course, he isn't going to do all that senseless violence and gore that they want. I wouldn't want him to. He has to stand up for the integrity of his work. All of us good folk in Flatwater feel that way. It says in the local paper that we are horrified by the senseless violence and vile language in the media. Horrified, horrified. Well, you'll see when you get here for your visit in July. God, I can't wait. August 1st, 1990. Oh, dear boys, I'm so sorry that Bill treated you that way during your blessedly quick visit here. I don't know what happened. He seemed so excited to meet you. I'm sure he doesn't get many new people around here, and things seem to be going so well, too. And then for him to behave that way, storming in and out of the house, glowering at you, I don't blame you for leaving. I just wish you would have taken me with you. I'm so sorry if my friends were too outrageous for Bill.
Oh, Lord, don't worry about it. They didn't offend him. You still don't understand him. You and them started talking to each other, just amongst yourselves for a minute. Whenever he sees people talking to each other and not to him, he gets mad and stomps out. I mean, it's hard not having any friends because of the way he is about them. Nearly drove me crazy the first few years we were married. Plus, add to that, us moving to new bases all the time like we were anyway. Oh, gosh, I don't know. Since he retired and we're here permanently, I have the church for friends. But they split in two last year over gay rights, and, well, I went with the ones that were against it. Not because I believe like they do, but because, well, most of my friends went with that half. Anyway, I don't go much anymore. They meet in a funeral parlor, and it's not much like a church anyway. Things have gotten a little better now that I'm married Kay. Women under me are really nice women, most of them. But, you know, they're my employees, really, and younger. But they look up to me like I was their mother. Not very much like friends. Anyway, here. Why don't you go with me on my Mary Kay deliveries? Grab those.
All right.
Oh, and he'll be all right until we get back.
Are you wearing that?
Oh, no.
Thank God.
It's not exactly casual Friday, is it? Oh, dear. Oh, I still have on my PJs.
Maybe you should wear that.
Okay, why not? Oh, dear. Here, light us up one. We can both smoke in my car.
Oh.
Yeah. I've done a lot for my girls. They really do well, you know, with Mary Kay, and they need the money. Well, hell, we need the money. Oh, jeez. Well, anyway. Okay. All right. You know, they were going to change we actually moved here because of the base commissaries. But now they've closed the whole base down. So I don't know. It's just they're talking about maybe making it into a prison or an insane asylum. I don't know which would be better. Prisons do really well for a town financially, but then the girls start marrying them and visiting them, and, you know.
And so we had a pleasant afternoon delivering mascara and matte foundation. And then, just as we pulled into the hillless, crestless Hillcrest,
Oh, look, more protesters.
I thought we were going to have the same flag scene all over again.
Oh, but look, they're just protesting the right to smoke in public places. Right on, nicotine brothers and sisters, right on! Keep the weed. Keep the weed! Woohoo!
You're incorrigible.
Jim, what are you doing out here? Don't you know nothing? Get your ass in here. That turd Saddam Hussein has invaded Kuwait. Shit. Bush will show that ass wipe. Didn't you hear? Get your ass in here and watch. We're gonna have us a war. Shit. That son of a shit. Who does he think he is? Look at them refugees. Who the shit are they? Ah, shit. They just a bunch of oil-rich, shit-eating Arab sheiks. Shit.
Hussein wants the oil.
Shit. He's got the fourth biggest army in the world. He's invincible.
Well, we armed him to help us defeat Iran.
Shit. He's committed hundreds of atrocities. Shit. He's a madman.
We haven't done a thing to stop him.
Listen. Listen to this. Shit. He's like Hitler. That's it. He's like that turd Hitler. He's a menace to the free world. He's got to be stopped.
They're telling Bill that Saddam Hussein is just like Hitler. Like they just noticed it.
Shit. Where did he get all them armaments?
I just told you.
They're starting an investigation to find out who sold in them arms.
Want to bet it's the Russians?
Shit. Saddam's got Russian advisors right there in his court.
They don't nobody put nothing over on me.
Shit. Bush is sending troops over there now.
Oh, well, let us all sing the Ballad of the Green Berets.
Shot down. Bush is drawing a line in the sand.
Oh, it's a John Wayne revival.
Shit. Congressmen don't want to pay for no war.
Well, that's all right. We fought the last two on credit.
Look, them protesters is out again, protesting a war.
Well, we won't let the Japanese have an army, so they spend their military budget on our communist protesters.
Look at all them poor soldier boys out in the desert.
Got the desert gear together pretty quick, didn't they?
And look, Bud, you ought to approve of this. They got all them women soldiers out there, too.
Oh, well, it's all right to have a war if you're going to let women play, too.
Damn. Bush is getting tough. He says them protesters is deserting them soldiers.
Well, he sent them there.
He says he can't bring them home because a congressman doesn't want to pay for it.
Oh, well, now here's where I lose touch. They're there. They have their weapons. If they're going to do it and end it.
Bush ain't going to let nobody trick him into starting no undeclared war.
Oh, now I understand it.
What's he going to do? He can't abandon all them poor soldier boys.
And girls.
And women.
Even though the Arabians have asked our women to stay out of sight because they don't approve of women wearing pants.
Look, the polls says people don't want a war. They say Congress ain't going to vote to let Bush have no war.
I really want to believe that.
Look, the people's wearing them yellow ribbons to show they support the troops.
I don't want to believe that.
What's that one saying? She said, I support the troops, but I don't support the war.
The heterosexuals have some sort of song about a yellow ribbon. You tie it around an oak tree to prove that you still love somebody. I don't know. Suddenly every perpendicular object in Flatwater has a yellow plastic ribbon tied around it, including the newsboy. The entire town looks like a crime scene.
Look, the polls are starting to turn around. More people want war.
Oh, well, maybe they couldn't figure out how to support troops without supporting a war.
Hey, look, Bush is fed up with that Democratic Congress.
Should I believe this?
Shit, hot shit. He went to the UN, and the UN's going to give him the money for the war.
Oh, and in an amazing end run, George Bush outflanks all rational opposition and gets the go-ahead for the big gangbang.
He'll show him. We're going to show him now.
Oh, my God. They're going to do it. They're actually going to do it. They're going to start flinging leftover weapons or experimental weapons that they need to test into that pathetic, primitive little country
Don't shit me.
with its Jim Crackery conscripted army. They're going to
Shit.
blow up God knows how many quivering Iraqis that are already enslaved to that great insane ape Hussein.
Don't shit me.
And shell and missile and shoot Lord knows how many innocent people.
Shit.
Just to protect the oil that we wouldn't need
Hot
if we just put half the intelligence into gasless cars that we put into piling up the arms of Armageddon.
Don't shit me.
Haven't we seen enough of this?
What? What did you say?
For the love of God, haven't we seen enough of this? Enough blood and lies.
What the shit are you talking about? We ain't even started shooting yet.
But we're going to do it all again.
I know. You think this is going to be another shitty mess like Vietnam. But listen, Bush swears this ain't going to be no Vietnam. We're going to go in there, we're going to clean them out, and we're going to finish it up, and we're going to do the job right this time.
Dear God in heaven, he's got them. All these skulking ex-officers like Bill, hiding in their houses, defoliating their lawns, sleeping with their 22s beside their beds. He's got them. He told them that this will erase the shame of our not stopping Hitler, the horror of our losing in Vietnam. He's made them need this war. The way the commercials on Nickelodeon make the kids need the bouncer ball or the Barbie and Transformer marriage chapel. He can't offer anyone a future, so he's offering them a chance to improve their pasts. He's got them. It's going to happen.
Woo-wee! Holy shit! There it goes. The first missile. The first blow for freedom. The first strike of the war. Holy sucking shit. What's that one saying? She says the causes of this war has to be looked for in the psychology needs of George Bush.
There's no rational justification for it.
Well, wouldn't you go in and help a neighbor if you saw their house was under attack?
They're not our neighbors. And we armed their attackers.
Yeah, but if we don't stop them, they'll invade Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia won't let women drive cars. Saudi Arabia has asked our Christian and Jewish soldiers to hide their crosses and stars of David to avoid offending. Saudi Arabia throws homosexuals off of cliffs.
But they're our ally.
Why?
What's that one saying now? She says she's losing her home because her soldier pay won't cover her mortgage.
Oh my God. The rich send these kids off to murder to protect their oil profits and their munitions profits. You'd at least think they pay their rents.
Yeah, but if they started doing that, all them soldiers would move into million-dollar penthouses.
Why? Why do you automatically say that? Why do you automatically assume that everybody in the world is so crooked, so dishonest, so out to get you? Why, if you think everybody in America just can't be trusted, why did you agree to fight in 2 wars to protect them?
Yes, yes, yes. They are dishonest. They're all crooks. Everybody's out to get you. You got to watch every minute, or somebody will put something over on you. And I didn't fight for them. I wouldn't lift a finger if it was one of them. I fought for my family. I did it all for my family.
Well, Gilberti says, I think women can be just as good as soldiers as men.
Dear boys, today he asked me to ride with him down to the lawnmower repair shop.
Here, let me get that for you.
Thank you. He broke a blade mowing in the dark last night. All the way to town and back. He was super nice to me.
You comfortable over there? You want the air conditioner?
He told me all the gossipy little stories about every inch of real estate along the way.
They graft them almond trees into them pecan tree trunks to get a better yield. They had to tear down that filling station and pay $1 million to depollute the ground under it from leak gas. Them Cambodians, they run all them roadside fruit stands now.
He was very careful.
Of course, a lot of them is really good, hard-working people.
He told me a lot about a subject he's an expert on, navigating by the fixed stars.
You take a fix on one of them stars, you can't never go wrong. You trust them, they'll get you right in there. You can drop your load on the enemy gasoline facility, turn right around, get your men back alive.
There is a human being in there, frightened and hurt.
Shit. We shouldn't have never been in there in the first place. You a young man, they wave a uniform at you. They tell you somebody's threatening your family. You go out and kill for them. For the rich people, that's who all makes profit off of war. All for them and their profit. They're out to get you. We shouldn't have never been over there at all.
And so we came back reconciled. He drove. He's an excellent driver when there's no other traffic for him to yell shit at. He drove around the Flatwater water tower with the pretty, peaceful pastel globe painted on it. At a certain angle, the sunlight hitting it revealed the shiny area where they had painted over the F word. There it was, still occasionally glistening in the sky to the whole quiet town. But I didn't say it. And of course, Bill never would. We were getting along. I even made him laugh once. My God, Bill, don't you ever get tired of seeing these little yellow ribbons everywhere? Oh, I'll bet you George Bush's son owns stock in a yellow plastic ribbon factory. He likes any story that shows anyone is corrupt and dishonest. Given sufficient time, I could even learn to amuse him. If it hadn't been for Jane Fonda.
You know what your little brother said? He said the reason they want us to tie all them yellow ribbons around everything is that George Bush's son probably brought controlling interest in a yellow ribbon factory. Oh, man. Let's catch up on what's happening in the war. Oh, shit. They're bringing bodies out of that bunker. Bash says, that's enemy footage sent out by the Iraqis. It's okay. That's just an Iraqi bunker. Them ain't none of our people. Shit. Oh, man, wouldn't you know it? Them protesters is saying that that was a civilian bunker, and that them is civilian bodies, and that our boys knew it. Shit, Bash says that ain't so. That was a well-known military intelligence control bunker. Shit. Bash has got another caller on now. Listen. The caller says he knows for a fact that that's a military bunker, and that them bodies, oh, y'all listen to this shit. Them bodies is probably political enemies of Hussein's that he killed and stuck in that bunker just to give the United Nations a bad name. See, bud? See what they do to protesters in Iraq?
Worse than anything. Worse than anything the studio wants you to put in your script, Penn. Worse than anything you've seen in a nightmare. The bodies just kept coming out of that hideous hole in the ground. Red, blood-splashed bodies, looking like today's pasta special. Like puke burritos microwaved at the parking bar. Like leftover wax blobs congealing on the floor of my shop when I made red, white, and blue candles.
Shit. Listen. Listen to this. It's one of them crazy old ladies that calls in. Bash always lets them make fools of themselves.
I really wish they wouldn't show us all these images on TV. There's too much violence on television already. Oh my God!
Ain't that the shit?
Oh my God!
Ain't you
Oh.
Ain't people such idiots, ain't they?
That is stupid.
It's good to see that you two are getting along for a change.
Oh, shit. She's even stupider than you, bud.
Who? Sis?
Oh, hell no. That caller, that little old lady, ain't she stupid?
Oh, very.
You know I'm kidding you, don't you, bud? You know we love you and we want you here.
I know. Thank you. You put up with a lot from me.
Oh, shit. We love you, buddy boy. Shit. He's got another one. Listen. Can you hear her?
Why is there so much of this pro-Hussein propaganda on CNN? Like saying that our boys bombed that civilian bunker. Everybody knows that their CNN is full of communist propaganda because Ted Turner is sleeping with that Jane Fonda? Oh my God! Oh my God! Hussein is a communist! Oh my God!
Ain't that too much? Oh, hell. You gotta laugh sometimes.
You do. You really do.
Hell, she's probably sleeping with Hussein.
Who, that old lady? Oh, and they had a lover spat.
Hell no. Hanoi Hannah.
You mean Jane Fonda?
Hell yes. Hanoi Hannah. That communist shit.
Bill, you can't mean that. She's a rigorous anti-fascist.
Don't tell me nothing about that whore. She's a whore.
Bill, Jane Fonda has been a consistent fighter for human rights and peace.
That whore went behind enemy lines in the time of war and betrayed her own people to the enemy.
Bill, you can't blame her. You can't mean that.
That woman sided with the enemy in the time of war.
Bill, who, sis?
Hell no. God damn it, no. That Jane Fonda whore, she told everybody we were bombing civilian targets.
Which we were!
I never bombed no civilian targets, and all her saying so ain't gonna make it true.
Bill!
And even if I did, even if I had of, all them so-called civilians was hiding Viet Cong soldiers. They was all Viet Cong. You couldn't trust none of them. They were hiding grenades under their shirts and walking in and blowing up GI bars.
Bill, not all of them!
If they wasn't, how could we tell which ones was and which ones wasn't? There wasn't none of them innocent. There wasn't none of them we could trust. They never wanted us there, and they killed all of us they could to get us out. We shouldn't have never helped them. We never had no business there in the first place.
Bill!
I hated that fucking war.
Bill!
I hated it.
That's wonderful! That's what you agree with Jane Fonda. She feels just the way you did. She hated that fucking war too, but she had the guts to stand up and say so.
And so all of our soldiers was treated like shit when we came home and spit on because of people like her.
Bill, everybody was crazy from that war. You can't blame her. Long before she entered the protest movement, hundreds of thousands of us marched. I marched dozens of times.
But the martyrs called our soldiers pigs.
Bill, not all of us. Some of those kids who entered were very young. When they understood we were carrying on an unjust war, they marched against it. But when their own parents sent police against us with dogs and guns and gas, some of them went crazy, Bill. My God, try to think what we went through with cops and dogs coming at us and us completely unarmed.
Armed? What did you need to be armed for? When was there violence against you?
Bill! Everywhere! In Greenwich Village, 3 Green Berets threw paving blocks at me. I was carrying a poster that said, "Bring our boys back alive." And they threw paving bricks in my head. I had to have stitches.
How do you know them was Green Berets? Them could have been anybody in uniforms.
Well, yes. Yes, and those could have been CIA men in ponchos who spat at our soldiers. What does it matter? What does it matter now? What does it matter that we saw the war was wrong before you did? Don't make the same mistake in Iraq or anywhere, not even here.
But you don't understand. You wasn't there. You don't know what it did to us to hear all that shit. Don't lecture me about that Jane Fonda slut. If I had her here, I'd kill her.
Don't blame her. You can't blame her. I marched. I spoke. I protested. I would have gone to Vietnam if I could, but I couldn't. Don't blame her. If you blame her, you might as well kill yourself. You might as well kill me.
Your family. Your fucking family. But don't talk to me anymore about that shitty cunt. Let's watch the war. It's just a war. That man's like Hitler. It ain't gonna be like Vietnam. We can win it. And we will by bombing only military targets. And we will. It ain't like Jane Fonda, Vietnam. Everybody's behind it. Everybody supports it. And we can win. Analysts predict that all offers of peace will be rejected. A ground war will commence. Iraq will be humbled. Shit! I guess Bush is gonna show them people. Thought he was a wimp. Don't nobody never put nothing over on him.
I think I'll go outside.
Oh, wait. Wear something. It's cold.
Then you could hear us all along.
I left it once. For 4 years. For a fortune teller. Oh, God. That man can make the tarot cards sing. Oh. Bill stayed with the kids. I think it probably cost him some promotions and advancements, having the kids to feed and keep dressed. But I don't know. You know how he is. I don't know whether he ever would have moved a whole lot further. And then when Bill died, or not Bill, but when Garrett died, Bill asked me to come back. He bought me a car, a white Plymouth, for a coming home present. Lord, he was so proud to have had enough money saved up to buy me that car. Oh, jeez. You know, when I won my first Cadillac, he got so angry, he got so unhappy. And he'd been so happy up until the time that I won my first Cadillac. I'd never seen him happy like that again. You know, for a while, he flirted with a young wife named Nancy that lived across the street back then. She looked like me, only a lot younger. But anyway, I finally realized that he couldn't do anything. Not that I would have cared, but I realized he couldn't do anything that he thought might make me leave him. I never saw a man so much like that. He'll put up with anything or anybody, just not to be alone.
Dear boys, it's cold. The flag hangs still. The educational earth hangs motionless amongst the unchanging fixed stars. I feel as though I'm living on the moon.
you all very much. You've been a wonderful audience. And I'd like to recognize the lady and gentleman of the hour, Betty Bennett and Mr. Robert Patrick. And our lighting, Mr. Ed Spur. And Miranda Rodriguez Waldo, our state manager.
Thank you all for coming and enjoying. That was the neat part, to enjoy what you were looking at. And like I said, be careful who you meet in college. You just
I just want to say that for 22 years, I sent this script around to every theater in the world, and every one of them rejected it. The only people who saw any value in it were Betty and Mary. And I just want to thank them for finally giving my baby life. A wonderful guy.
Thank you all for supporting our scholarship fund. We got this sucker by the tail. We're going to get working. Have a good evening, y'all. Be careful out there.
Thank you. Be careful going home.
Okay, we got lights.
Could we have some lights? Thank you. Thank you.
How you feel?
I feel good. How do you feel?
Oh, fine.
Well, that's the test right there.
I just said it. Y'all gave my baby life. I'll need you standing. Yeah, if y'all come, just right down here where we were. I'm sorry, just the one picture I really wanted.
You don't want the knife?
Yes. You standing.
Oh, okay.
Best possible life. Okay, sorry, I have to pose.